our indoor koi pond is cool, but I would never put my hands in the pond where I'm going. Hey, what's up everybody? At the Pond Professor here. We are in Ohio, and you are in for a treat today because we are at the home of Ohio Fish Rescue. We got the man right here, Josh Price. He's gonna give us a walkthrough because this place is insane. I don't even know where to start.
I'll go ahead and I'll treat it as, you know, your first time here. And when you walk in, you're greeted with this wall of aquariums, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But this whole stack of aquariums here is nothing but quarantine. When fish come in, we put them in here, and then we do about 3 weeks of quarantine. A week for bacterial, a week for fungal, and then a week for parasites.
Where do you fish come from? I mean, you get them from everywhere.
The main staple are hobbyists. When they have a fish tank, they don't do their research, and they're like, hey, these fish get way too big and I don't know where to take them. So they call up their buddies at Ohio Fish Rescue, and then we come in and rescue them, or they'll be dropping them off here. We sometimes get hundreds of fish a week.
I can't even imagine. So this is a huge responsibility. So people are bringing you their pets that they've had for years. And sometimes they probably are pretty beat up. So you take it upon yourself to do whatever it takes to fix them.
So this Oscar here, if I can get him to turn around, he's got a big old bite on his other side, which it looks way better than it did. I got a little bit of medication in the water and he'll be just fine. Then we get different things like this guy over here, gulper catfish, but he's missing his left arm, you see?
He looks funny! Ow! Hey, what'd I do?
Be nice. We don't discriminate on any sort of fish here. We take them all, whether they're sick and diseased or missing limbs. These are matching 1,800 gallon tanks. Strictly nothing but African cichlids, and that's more of like a community monster tank.
They're breeding in here. How often are you getting new fish?
You can see the different generations.
I was looking around.
There's, you know, smaller guys, 2 inches, inch and a half. There's an inch guy back there. They're always, you know, reproducing.
Now, don't worry about watching them, but down here on the bottom, you'll start seeing all the babies come out from everywhere. You see all the little ones over here? Look how little, tiny. There's a, what, 1/4 inch? Oh, that's a piece of dirt.
Now, this was originally in a hotel, correct? So in Vegas?
It was in the Bellagio Casino. In their yearly water garden. They redo it 4 to 5 times a year. They had these tent things built, and then after 3 months, they put them in storage for 5 years.
Thankfully, again, your organization exists where you could help out with that stuff, reutilize these tanks, put them on display, and also keep an incredible display of fish like this.
And if we backpedal back to that tank real quick, this one is filled with nothing but what I call community monsters. They're community fish that get large. So we've got like these mad bars that are about 2 foot long, huge parrot cichlids, ballast sharks, probably about 50 different fish in here. Then the coolest fish in this tank is that little striped guy back there. He's like a blue and white. He's called a polar parrot. His name is Lil Rich. Goliath tigerfish right there. And then we have a red tail pyara and a little small baby arapaima.
Those guys grow fast.
Yes, they do.
When they're that size, they eat like crazy. They grow fast.
All right, if we keep on running the gauntlet here, in this tank here we have our Abenite. These guys come from the Nile River over in Africa, and they can get upwards of, you know, 5 foot long. They've got several rows of razor sharp teeth. So if this guy was, you know, 4 foot long, he'd come up and just swipe you, and it looked like a surgical bite and just take a chunk out of you. He's got real tiny eyeballs, and he actually sees by small electrical pulse he puts out through the water. One of our displays here, this is Tesla, the electric eel. He's probably about 3.5 foot long. But they're shocked. They can produce it, and you can feel it in the water. You've seen people on video, they're in there netting them, and they just drop. But if these guys actually come up and they perch on you, the more contact they have with your skin, the more charge that they can do.
Makes sense.
Right now, he can probably produce about 300, 350 volts. But these guys at 6 foot long can produce 600 volts. Back here is something you don't see too often in the hobby. This is called a rock baku, and he's one of the few armored catfish that get to massive proportions. Just like the Niger cat, this is the only species that I do not have, and I finally found them, and I only have one. They are super rare. Red Atabapo pike, and he just loves to hide back here. He's fire red. He's real cool.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And then right behind you, you've got a mascot, TJ, over here. He's wanting to come down and say hi. He is a Golfin's cockatoo. He is extremely nice. We had just rescued him several weeks ago.
Beautiful.
This is our 2,200 gallon aquarium. This is our ray breeding project. Common black diamonds back there. And then these super nice ones are what they call white diamonds. They've just been bred for perfection throughout the years. So right now we have 9 rays in here. The majority of 8 of them are females. 1 is a male. This is a 750 gallon tank. Of course, we've got a huge tropical gar lungfish, which I actually just picked up that albino lungfish today. Hasn't even been on camera yet.
Oh my gosh, no way.
And then I kind of view this as my peaceful tank. So I have the, you know, harder to feed gars. They come down, they're a little bit more reserved. So I have them in with the somewhat blind lungfish. And back here we've got our tortoises. Chomper and Littlefoot is our 1,000 gallon. This is home to several monsters. One of my favorites here is this Vitatus tigerfish, about 14 inches long. He pretty much runs this tank.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So that's an aggressive fish.
One of the other armored catfish that do get large, this is what they call an arena catfish. They also come from the Amazon.
Okay.
Over here to your right, we've got the Tigrinus catfish. He is
Cool.
like the holy grail.
Wow, isn't that gorgeous?
And then right behind them, the Planiceps, what they call the firewood catfish. And down in the Amazon, there's really no meat on their bone. They dry these catfish out and use them as firewood.
Come on, what?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Some guys, they get a lot of attention in this tank is the fire eel.
Ah, that's a giant one. Oh my gosh.
And then if you look
Holy
above him,
cow.
he's got the black spotted eel right there as well. He likes to tangle himself up in that root ball. We got this open top 650 gallon right here. Of course, we've got our main boy, Hubert. Pull him out. You know, the kids absolutely love to go ahead and pet him.
Yes, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's smacking me so hard. This is one of 4 Fly River turtles that we have here at the rescue. We've got this 3-foot Adonis Pleco. So this guy is over 30 years old.
No way.
And the only way that we were able to tell how old it was, they took a small part of the fish and they did some carbon dating on it in the lab, and they were able to tell us that he's over 38 years old because he was a wild caught. One of the first original 3 that were originally imported into the United States. All right, this guy back here is a gooch catfish, also known as the devil cat. He is one of the largest I know of in a private collection in the United States.
No way.
He's just over 30 inches long right now. Right behind you is our 4,400 gallon aquarium, 14 foot long, 7 foot wide, and 6 foot tall.
This is absolutely insane. I have been here before. You're always changing stuff out, moving things around, but every time I come, I could sit here for hours. I mean, this thing is just, it makes such an impact. The depth of it, you know, the water volume, the length of it, it's just unreal.
We've got this real cool guy right here. It's called a Barramundi. He comes from Australia. We've got an Atlantic tarpon right here. I'm real excited for him to be about 4 foot long in the monster pond. That gold iridescent shark right there. He is the only one in the United States. I saved him from a pet store that caught on fire probably about 15 years ago or something like that. We've had him for a very, very long time. This is the 3,000 gallon. This is the tank that me and my dad actually built.
Oh, cool.
This is home to a lot of our giant pacu. Wow. So the largest one in there is Big Betty, and we rescued her from a 125 gallon tank. That big girl right there.
Whoa.
And if I had to guess, she's about 60 pounds.
That's insane.
We have the common red bellies that most people have. But these olive green ones, they're actually a black pacu.
Black on the bottom, so you get the olive on the top. Got it. Okay.
And they actually get significantly larger. These guys can get upwards of 40 inches and 100 pounds. All right, now coming through this room, you're entering a whole different world out here. You've got the masterpiece that, of course, you guys built.
The latest addition to the Ohio Fish Rescue.
This is a 58,000 gallon. It used to be a swimming pool that, of course, you and your team came out and converted this into a recreation pond. Usually I'm the one giving the spiel on the reverse flow wetland style filter, but I think Ed can take this one.
I could definitely do that. So the deep zone over here was 12 feet, right?
12 feet.
So 12 foot deep. So we had the opportunity opportunity to come in. We did our snorkel centipede down on the bottom. We used crushed stone and sandbags to actually create a deep trough down on the bottom. Then we have our water dispersion system with our aqua blocks. So all that water is getting pumped from the bottom up through all the different layers of river rock. And here's the pond guy bringing us up a turtle.
This guy's loving it in here.
I had to take him out because he was getting
There are so many baby cichlids in
Yeah.
here.
Wow.
It is unbelievable.
When we originally designed this pond, it was for the monster fish recreation, so we can get in there and swim with our fish and have a spot for our, you know, massive 3, 4, 6 foot arapaima to live. But then we had this tank over here at the time was a cichlid tank, and they came over the overflow and they inhabited this monster pond. Over here is some more display tanks that is tied into the monster pond. Right now, this is a 750 gallon with a super white diamondback sturgeon.
Dang, that is incredible. Now we're talking here too, yes. Not just any turtle.
This is cool.
That is a very cool alligator snapper.
So this is the girl that we were wanting to build that dual purpose wetland
Okay.
filter for, which you guys will learn more about that in future videos. But
Yeah.
there's big plans for Morla. Easy, buddy.
I hope you enjoyed this incredible tour of Ohio Fish Rescue. If you're looking for more information, definitely check out these videos. I'll see you on the next project.